What's up, guys? It's Frank from the DOW. I'm finally back. My computer's been down for almost a week, so finally got it back up and running thanks to a good friend. And yeah, I had some free time, so I figured I'd drop a podcast real quick and talk about a couple of things in WWE. And I guess first off, I kind of wanted to talk about the fact that a lot of superstars want to leave either because they have family issues they gotta deal with and take care of, and they want to start families, or because they're not happy with the role that they have in the company currently. Wade Barrett being the one that would be disappointed or unhappy with his role, and Brie Bella because she wants to start a family. Daniel Bryan's retired officially now, and yeah, so that's what they decided to do. There's a lot of rumors going around that Wade Barrett had a neck injury, and the more and more stories come out about him wanting to leave and him being unhappy, I'm starting to call bullshit on that, on his neck injury, and I don't really think he's injured at all. I think that since he gave his notice, possibly WWE just has him sitting on the sidelines because they're pissed off at him because he wants to leave. But you can't blame the guy when the guy hadn't had a match in almost, can't even, I'm gonna say at least 6 months. Um, I can't really think of the last time Barrett had an actual match and won, or his last feud. I'm sure uh, Rod, Anthony, and Mike maybe could probably fill me in on that, or Chuck. Um, you know, and like I said, you can't get mad at the guy for wanting to leave when they put you in a really, they put you in a shitty stable. Um, Two guys out of the entire stable wrestle at least once every 2 weeks if they're lucky. Del Rio's in a feud with Kalisto again for like the the fourth time. Um, Sheamus goes from being a main eventer to right back down to the mid card again, which is, I'm not complaining about because I don't like Sheamus to begin with. I think he's terrible, but I don't understand WWE's logic of pushing a guy for 2 months almost, and then once he loses the title, you automatically drop him and do nothing with him. So you have Sheamus, Barrett, who apparently, like I said, had the neck injury, so that's why he hasn't been wrestling, or because ever since he gave his notice to WWE, they're pissed off at him and they refuse to let him wrestle. You have Rusev, who used to be this big Bulgarian monster with Lana, and now he doesn't really do anything, and he hugs his teammates and all that crap, when Rusev really just used to care about himself instead of this whole League of Nations bullcrap. Um, what else is there to talk about? AJ Styles in WWE. Uh, and a lot of people didn't think we would ever see it. I'm glad that he's here. I'm still getting used to it though, because it's new. It's something that a lot of fans have wanted, and it's different, But I had brought it up with Chuck a couple of days ago. I'm not really sure how I feel about AJ doing the flying Superman punch thing that he does, since Roman Reigns does it, and it's kind of like you couldn't give AJ a different move to do. I mean, granted, it is cool because he does it a different way, but it's like, come on, the guy has at least 1,000 other moves that he could do. So instead, you give him that move. Um, the calf crusher is a cool move, I guess. Not really, it's not really like an oh my god type of move. To me, it's just like, you take the guy's leg and you just bring it back a little bit, and that's really all the hype value that it has to me. But I'm glad that they let him do the Styles Clash, and his feud with The Miz and Jericho is okay. Actually, it's been a really good feud with Jericho, and I'm actually excited about it that they're going to fight off at Fastlane again. to end that feud, and I guess Jericho will go away for a while, or he'll be at Mania and do something, the Money in the Bank match maybe, or some type of thing. Do they even still do the Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania, or did they just push that for the regular pay-per-view itself? I don't remember, but um yeah. So AJ's in WWE, that's interesting. Nakamura's finally in NXT. I don't know if he there was rumors saying that he failed his physical, but if he failed it, he was still gonna fight in NXT anyway for that one match when they're in Texas. Um, yeah, I don't know if he passed or failed or what the whole story is. So if someone knows, please fill me in. Um, I know that Funaki is his trainer, and he's helping him go over like cutting promos and stuff, and trying to learn the English language a little bit better than what he already knows. And an unknown fact, or maybe some guys know, but Albert used to train him way back in the day, so he has Albert with him also down in NXT helping him out. Um, the Divas tag team match, believe it or not, I'm actually interested in it because to me it's like a breath of fresh air. Instead of always having Brie Bella fight this one, or Foxy fight Summer Rae, and Summer Rae fights this one, and to me it's something different. Sasha and Becky on the same page is different, but you could also see a turn, and Sasha turns on Becky again and joins Team Bad again, and all that type of garbage. But we'll see what happens. To me, Ric Flair doesn't need to be there every single week in Charlotte's corner. I mean, I think she's over enough by now, whether the fans like her or hate her, that she could survive on her own. She doesn't need Daddy watching over her shoulders every waking hour of the day. I mean, yeah, it's Ric Flair, but at least save the nostalgia factor for another time. You don't need to bring him out every single week. Braun Strowman and the Big Show Ryback feud, whoever he's feuding up against now, it's not all that entertaining to me. I mean, I get that you want to push him because he's a big guy, and Vince loves big guys, and he always has. But I don't see how fans are gonna get behind the guy that has 3 moves. Yeah, I know. People are gonna say Shawn Michaels had 3 moves. John Cena has this many moves, and fans like him, Roman Reigns, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. Hulk Hogan, blah blah. Yeah, Braun Strowman has had a total of what, 2 matches, 3 matches, maybe, singles matches. I'm not talking tag team, and he looks terrible in all of his matches. Um, Big Show, I didn't see the Stone Cold podcast. I've seen like bits and pieces of it, and I can't really be mad at him anymore because he said that he has more turns in WWE than NASCAR does, and he's right. He's like, if a top excuse me, if a top baby face gets hurt, creative automatically goes to Big Show and like, we need another guy to step it up. You're that guy. You have to turn face. Or if a top heel goes out, they come to him and they go, this guy's hurt. We need a good guy to play the bad guy role, and they automatically go to Big Show. Big Show's not gonna argue. Big Show's getting a paycheck every week anyway, so what does he care what he does? But creative knows that like the kids love him, so that's why he keeps on bouncing back and forth. And I guess the same thing could be said for Mark Henry, who got injured in his match with Big E. I don't really know whose fault it was. Big E was going for the big ending, I guess, and Mark Henry just kind of like fell off his shoulders and was grabbing his ribs. So who knows? Maybe he broke a rib or he just did something to it. But I'm sure he'll be back down the line sooner or later. Stardust and Stephen Amell. I guess that feud is going to continue into maybe WrestleMania. I mean, they have to have some type of filler match, so I guess they'll end up doing that. If not, maybe it'll carry up until SummerSlam again, like it did last year. It's kind of confusing. Not the whole Stephen Amell thing, but Eden was also with Stardust at Comic-Con, And obviously, if people don't know by now, Eden and Cody Rhodes are married. They have been for a while now. And Eden got involved in it also, but WWE didn't really play up to it yet in the storyline, and she's still, I guess, she's still a face. But it would be nice for her to kind of go back and forth between announcing and also being Stardust's manager or valet, so to speak. I think she would maybe kind of bring like a fresh breath of air to the Stardust character. Goldust and R-Truth, I think, is one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. It's pretty much Booker T and Stardust, except the modern day. But it's the modern day Booker T and Stardust, but with R-Truth. I think that it's funny. It's not exactly different, but the things that they do, they kind of go back and forth between being PG and not PG. Like they try to like push it a little bit, but it's still hilarious nonetheless. Um, Kevin Owens is finally the Intercontinental Champion again, which makes me semi-suspect that the reason why they took the IC title off of Ambrose is because he's going to win the triple threat match and go on to WrestleMania. If he doesn't win the triple threat match, he'll somehow squeeze his way into the WrestleMania match, and it'll be a triple threat match. And maybe Ambrose will win there. If not, my other guess is that Ambrose turns heel, and he aligns himself with Triple H, and he'll be the new authority figure until whenever he is better. I'm sure he's almost there. Whenever Rollins is better, Rollins goes back with Reigns, or Rollins remains with the authority, and him and Ambrose are a big force to be reckoned with in the WWE. Again, today is Wednesday. Lucha Underground is on tonight for those that have Time Warner Cable, and I know for a fact that Verizon does not carry Lucha Underground anymore. I don't know if Optimum does. If they do, check the internet, check your cable provider. It's on at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. PJ Black made his debut last week in Lucha, who is Justin Gabriel. In the Indies, though, his name is PJ Black. Tonight, Prince Puma goes up against Pentagon Jr. Joey Ryan is also in there, if you know the name from the Indies. I'm sure that'll be an exciting debut. Like I said, it's an all-around good show. They mix luchador wrestling with modern day wrestling like we have in WWE now. So I suggest if you want your Wednesday fix for wrestling, you would try to watch that. And if you don't have it on your cable provider, watch it online. Axel Ryan had passed away about a week ago, and he's been going through some rough times, I guess. His mother brought it up on social media and said that she had suspected that he had overdosed, but it wasn't determined at the time. And the news just came out yesterday that his cause of death was an overdose of heroin in a McDonald's bathroom, and cops had found the needles and the spoon with residue on it and all that stuff, and heroin pills and all that type of stuff. Yeah, I guess it's a rough time being a wrestler when you don't do it anymore, and you have money laying around that you don't know what to do with. But I don't think it means that you should go out and do drugs and all that type of stuff. But I guess when you don't know what to do, I guess that's your last resort. Anyway, I'm Frank from the DOW. Oh yeah, and it is the New Day shirt if you were wondering what shirt it was. I'm Frank from the DOW. If you want to join the page, look up on Facebook, type in Disciples of Wrestling. We have, I believe it's back up to 160 members now. Have fun and join, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.